Pleasure to have you here, President Michael Higgins, joining us at IFAD with our President Alvaro Lario. As you know, Ireland is a founding member and has been a strong friend of IFAD's, and we are honoured to have you here. The floor is yours.
Well, it's a great pleasure to be here, and this is, I think, my third meeting with the Director General, Dr. Alvaro Lario, and we met, I think, when he visited me in Dublin and Doris Nuthro, but of course we met in Senegal, which was our first meeting in Dakar. We're looking at the African Food Summit, which was, I think, was very important. I have to say that I'm very pleased that Ireland is an active member in IFAD. It has is about to complete a 3-year period of funding and is committed to continuing its funding in the next 3 years and to an increase in that funding. I think that the work of IFAD is so important because it is perhaps, and their publication, the annual report of 2022, is that they offer great transparency in what they're doing. It's work that has an impact on the ground that is very, very important, enabling sufficiency, and to move from sufficiency to surpluses will enable people to contact with local markets. It's satisfying all the criteria of responding to climate change, but as well as that, meeting demands of sustainability, but very, very important, empowering local rural people to take charge of their future, addressing then obviously issues of food and nutrition and stunting and so forth. I think that the fact that their work is spread across so many continents in relation to Africa, South America and Asia, and as well as that it has been able to, I think, relate itself very positively to indigenous wisdoms in relation to matters of seed hybrid decisions, in relation to, as well as that, in relation to dealing with displaced people. For example, it's very, very significant work in Colombia that we have been discussing with the populations that have been displaced from a system that isn't only a latifundista system, but a system that has been supported by violence. I think that as well it is able, and it is one of the constants of Ireland's policy, has been its very strong gender component, and it very much in relation to women's involvement, both in terms of the rights issues in relation to land, and in relation to access to education, access to the opportunities for the purchase of seeds and tools of production, but also in relation to taking advantage of the new technological capacities that are there in communications, through knowing what is happening in the market, where the shortages are, and thus eliminating what were traditional sources of waste and sources of uncertainty. And I think very, very much the most important thing at a time when, I'm afraid rather scandalously, some of the most powerful nations in the world have reduced their funding to bodies like the World Food Programme, but that there is now the response has been an effective cooperation between the three major agencies, the World Food Programme, IFAD, and the Food and Agricultural Organization. And I think that that is in fact a very, very, very positive development. It means that countries will be able to get effective outcomes that really matter for people. And in that way we'll be promoting participation and deepening democracy where it needs to be done.